Good afternoon, everyone. I want to qualify today's conversation. I have my family visiting, and we have four dogs in the house. So if you hear some barking, please know that I am visiting my daughter and her family and enjoying the dogs immensely. Um, I was hesitant to do this topic today. You are the vibration you hang out with, because this is really controversy um, for many people. It's filled with controversy. And, you know, because we always like to think of ourselves as the good person, the person who didn't cause the problem in our own life. Because we're taught we always have to be accountable, it gets pretty scary to always be accountable for everything. And everyone likes to think of themselves as ready to go shooting off into 4 and 5D, but we're not even close. Um, so many people are not understanding vibration and what they're resonating and what they're drawing to them. And I thought I should have this talk a little bit because Swanda is not always the nice, happy, filled with love and kumbaya person. Sometimes I have a tendency to piss people off, and when you get pissed off at what I say, it's generally because I've triggered something in you. So if I trigger something and you understand that it's coming from a place of love and understanding, because we all have to move forward into a brighter light. Um, and first off, we need to look at how do we vibrate. If you are looking, if you're worried constantly about your looks, is my hair done? Is my makeup on? Or do I have a nice business suit? Then you're going to draw to people who have an opinion about your looks. And if you don't feel good about how you look that day, that's going to be reflected in their eyes, and that's going to change your vibration. And if you want to feel better about yourself, you have to dress the way you feel you are better and not worry about what other people think. It's just about feeling good, not how you present to the world. Or you might even, if you keep worrying about your looks, you might even draw people to you who will affect how you perceive you look. Hi, Bonnie. So that becomes in itself a very difficult way that we look, because we're we're judging how we look. It lowers our vibration, and then somebody reads that and they vibrate to that same judgment, and that's going to affect how you vibrate. So we have to let go of those things that we make decisions on. For example, if you think negatively of someone because they don't agree with your opinion, all you're doing is feeding that negativity into the collective consciousness. And that negativity is reflected back to you. And other people doing the same thing. They're not going to agree with what you think. They're going to argue a point with you because they want to be right also. So if we're worried about being right constantly, and that we're reacting negatively to somebody's opinion who doesn't agree with us, you're going to keep getting that back, and it's a vicious circle. So how do we stop that? We understand that opinions are beliefs, and beliefs are not necessarily truth because they change as we grow. Truth never changes, but our ability to comprehend it does. My healing spirit teacher, Whiteout, told me to know a thing to be true is to make it so. So let's take brown bread is healthy for you. Then it will be, because that's what you know is truth. But if you only believe it, well, that's flexible. You can be proven wrong on that. But to know it, a truth in your heart, that makes it so. So we have to really be careful to what we know to be true. lately there's a lot of opinions that we watch and perceive from other people. And we're constantly scrolling through the news, through the internet, through social media, and we want to be proven right. So we will keep finding those stories that prove us right. If I Googled lasagna is the best dinner ever, I'm going to get a bunch of recipes that make my lasagna the best dinner ever. So what we are looking for, we will find. So be careful what you ask for. Yeah, it kind of goes like that. Hi, Pat. We have so many opportunities now to grow and to be, that your light will find the information that you seek to either go dimmer or to go brighter. And to grow our light, we must focus on that light. The collective consciousness will help you find all the people that resonate with you to help reinforce your truth. So if your truth is the tooth fairy comes on Wednesdays and is going to give you $1 for every tooth you lost, then that's going to be your truth. Somebody else is going to go, you still believe in the tooth fairy today? What's up with that? There's so much controversy out there right now and so much dividing us that we haven't yet considered we might be buying into the wrong program. And I'm going to tell you, when I say that, I can hear half the people over here going, yes, they are. And the other half of the people over here going, yes, they are. We, each one of us, is buying into our truth. I had a bit of a crisis in consciousness the other day, which really kind of bottled me up because I'm struggling really hard as a spirit light worker, because I'm human and I have opinions, and I have a way I'd like to see the world. In my world, all people are coming from their level of truth, and I stand in compassion for myself and for others because we're not in the same truth. Now, the collective consciousness helping you find that, if you're coming from anger, if you're looking at situations that happen in the world and you're wanting to find, you're angry about those situations and you want to find a truth that resonates to that, the collective consciousness will give you people, places, and things to feed that belief. If you want to be open to the light, the collective consciousness will raise itself with that. I have my chiropractor and I had this conversation, and she said, there are two sides. We're very divided, and each side is doing the same thing. I said, guess what? You're right. And we are feeding into that. And it's not helping us pay our bills. It's not helping us reach out to each other. It's not helping us hold a place and space for other people to come in and change. So if we decide that these people are beneath us because they don't believe what we believe, then you're not allowing them to change. And what kind of light worker are we if we don't open the door for people to change? What kind of vibration are we holding? We're holding one of fear. So we have to decide. Yes, I wrote down some notes this morning at breakfast. What are your goals in this moment now? You have to decide what your goals are. Are you wanting to prove yourself right and everybody else wrong? Are you trying to follow your destiny while you mow over everybody else's? Are you trying to walk your destiny with those who vibrate the same as you in love and light? Do you want to be seen as all-knowing, like only you can be right? Do you want to create wealth and abundance at the expense of others? Do you want to tie into that wealth and abundance so that we understand we all come from that land of plenty, the plenitude, if you will, of abundance? Because everybody can be rich, healthy, peaceful, and grow our light. Because like Whiteout said, if you know a thing to be true, it will be so. You will make it so. We don't need to be coming in from the dogmatic teachings of the Piscean age. We're supposed to be moving past that time. And I was not wanting to ever get caught up in dogmatic teachings, but of course we do. Because that's where we're here to grow. But it's time for us to let it go. Dogmatic teachings say this person is right, that person is wrong. Dogmatic teachings say you can only get to heaven by this staircase. Dogmatic teachings say if you're not good, you're going to use this staircase over here and you're going to slide down the tunnel of hell. Those teachings are so passé, so mundane and over it. We don't get to judge someone. I'm going to give you an example. Years ago, someone told me, I don't understand what white privilege is. And she didn't. She didn't understand because she was white. And so she finally saw it in action, and she finally saw it playing out in her world. And she was like, oh, I get it. But until then, she thought everyone who ever said that was a horrible person. That they were just whiny babies. Ironically, on the other side of the ticket, everybody who talked with her about it thought she was a racist. She was no racist. She just didn't understand. And this is the same thing with metaphysics. We just don't always understand. We have to be willing to raise our consciousness. We have to be willing to do the work that holds a place of compassion for each other. This requires us to quit letting our ego be in charge of our wants, needs, and follow our hearts to open the flow of possibilities through positivity and not negativity. Audrey talked about ego a couple of weeks ago, and she gave a really good talk about ego. I think it bears rewatching if you're interested. So then I thought, how can I help people grow their light? I'm not going to tell you kick everybody out of your life that doesn't agree with you, because that's not what this is about. It's about having that desire to grow the light within you. It's about not trying to sneak in the back door and snatch clients away from somebody else. It's about honoring the fact that the right person will find you. And that grows your light. But here's some other ways. Understand that all people, all human beings are on the path to enlightenment. How they get there and what they have to go through, we need to stand in a place of compassion, because some people are choosing some really angry, hurtful ways of growing. And we don't have to do that anymore. We can create from love, peace, and harmony. We do not have to grow from hate, fear, and anger. We do not have to make ourselves right. We just have to recognize everybody is on the same kind of path. We're all trying to reawaken the truth of who we are. Light workers, light beings. We're all star children. We keep making these names up to describe everybody else, but we're them too. Everybody's an ancient soul. Every one of us were created at the same time. It's how we express it. And that doesn't mean that somebody who doesn't know how to express it is any less spiritually advanced than the other person. It means they created a different story this lifetime. So we have to hold in that compassion and that opportunity for people to come in and vibrate with us. And the more bright their light, the brighter our light by association, and vice versa. So we need to understand that we're all equal in that traipsing. I mean, I can guarantee you, in past lives, I have been a whore, I have been a murderer, I've been a thief, I've been everything bad. Or was it bad? It was an experience. If we understood that this universe is an amoral universe and that there is no right and wrong, then we understand that we have to move through those concepts of right and wrong to bring ourselves light. That amoral is not immoral, it is just the way it is. And it's really funny how convenient we try to make that for ourselves. As we're all for an amoral universe, as long as you don't disagree with my opinions, right? As long as I do what you say so that I can grow your way. I'm here to help you grow your way, no one else's. No one's path is ever going to be the same as yours because they don't have the cumulative life experiences through all their lives that is exactly the same as yours. So their actions and reactions are going to be predicated on other things. And I'm going to give you a little example of this. I dislocated my neck when I was 15. C1, C2, another eighth of an inch, and I would have severed my neck. And I had a lot of emotion bottled up in my neck. Well, I had my first Rolfing session this week. And remember, your neck, it's right there in the third chakra where your voice is. And I couldn't voice my voice. I couldn't voice my power. And so when I did, it shocked the hell out of everybody because I didn't always agree with them. And I said it pretty angrily. And I'm okay with that because if that's the only way somebody could hear me, I'm sorry if I hurt them, but I needed to get stuff moving for me. And I would have hoped that they could have stood in compassion and said, wow, she has just been under the gun. Life has just been really intense. But I don't know how that person received it. I think they're a beautiful spirit, but I disagreed with something that they thought. And that's okay, because they can disagree with the things I think. We all have ugly in our lives and our hearts that we need to work to love all the ugly in ourselves and more importantly in others. Ugly is the way we have chosen to learn until we learn to choose from love, to learn from love. We choose to create ugly scenarios in our world consciousness. We have an entire global experience of suppression and opinions and judgments. When it's time to raise our consciousness, everybody, like I said, everybody wants to think that they're holding that space of positivity. But then they go, oh, well, you shouldn't do this or you should do that. And they're not doing it themselves. So we have to really kind of look at our ugly and see what it is that somebody has said or done that triggers us to the point that we're willing to fight to prove them wrong. I had that example set for me this week, and I had to really look at what it was that triggered me so bad. And I realized I was around a bunch of people as I grew up that were very racist. I came from Gallup, New Mexico, and I had a lot of indigenous friends. And for a white girl, that wasn't supposed to be, not in the 60s and 70s. I liked them. They were funny. And they didn't judge me. My white friends judged me. They were very brutal to me because I taught to women of other races, other cultures. And I realized that that's still a sore spot with me. It really is. So when I hear the word you are, she is, they are racist, it really makes me angry. And I have to heal that aspect of myself. Just like you have to heal the aspects of yourself that is the negative charge for you. The ugly brings the change until we understand it. Remember that we understand it until love can bring greater change. You don't have to hang out with people that are vibrating at a different rate, that are maybe their light is dimmer than yours. They're more stressed, they're more angry, they're more controlling, they're more dominant in their beliefs that you have to believe my way. You don't have to excuse me. You don't have to hang out with them. You just have to love them through it. Just give them some compassion and realize they're going through their own hell, their own ugly. Now, we don't need to make other people our bully. That's another way we can raise our vibration. We don't make other people our bully. They don't get to be our bully. We have to own we bullied ourselves. We are our bully. So we have to really kind of look at what we're doing there and kind of switch that off. Now, if you're on the computer and you're researching, you're posting, sharing, liking negative posts filled with hate and justification, maybe that's another way you need to look at how your light is bright. It's really hard for us with so much conflict going on. It cost me a lot. I've lost a lot of friends through social media. So I decided, you know what? They don't need to know my opinion. There used to be a day that we didn't have our opinions spewed all over social media. We kept it to ourselves. So I decided to keep a lot of my opinions to myself. You still find it sometimes in the story because I do believe in women's rights and women's equality. I do believe equal pay for equal work. I do believe in my body, my right. But that's me. It's called free will. And we have to honor that free will in everybody, including ourselves. There's so much more to life. So if you want to grow your light, focus on your light. Meditate, pray. Get outside on the porch and breathe some fresh air. You don't have to go far. I know everybody's angry because they think they can't go anywhere. I walk by the bosque. I walk my neighborhood. You can get out. You don't have to stay in your house. You can exercise. If you have a yard, you can clean it. You can plant it. You can replant it. There's so much that we can do. There's people out there, some of you are some fantastic artists. Create. Give that opportunity as you go into that creative space to bring that light so others can enjoy it. We all need to share some positivity in our life. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope I didn't hurt anybody's feelings, but if I did, then I guess don't make me your bully. See what it is that I said that bothers you and go from there. We need to grow our light. Our light is vitally important. Threats, belittlement, judgments, those are not light. Don't let anybody do that to you today. I've decided instead of saying have a nice day today, I'm going to say have a Karen-free day. Love you guys. Have a good Karen-free day. Bye now.